All right, guys, this is Aaron and Chris with ABR. We wanted to put one video together for all the desensitization stuff that you want to do. What we tell patients is the success is 50-50. So it's about 50% what you do and 50% what we do. And we can try to change the formula, but these are the things that we really need for you to do to be successful. So what we tell patients is if you complete the desensitization exercises and you're not having any pain with them, then you should definitely, we guarantee you should not have pain with your prosthesis. But if you don't complete them, then you may be having pain in your prosthesis. It might not be from the prosthesis, it might be from some facets of your limb that aren't prepared for super high activity. When it comes to running, high impact type of activities. So in order, we're going to go through the desensitization exercises. They are in chronological order. So you want to complete these in this order. The first one is hand tapping. So all of these exercises are done with a gel liner on. If you have a disarticulation and you are able to bear weight on the end of your leg and your surgery was done for that, then you can do these exercises on your skin. But if your surgery is not done for that, then we stick to these for just for the gel liner. That's on a case-by-case basis, and you would need to talk to who you might be interviewing with at ABR, whether it's me or Justin or Ryan. So the first exercise is hand tapping over your gel liner. So Chris will show you this exercise.
Extend your leg out. Just want to tap all over the end of it. Bring your pain level up to a 6 or a 7. And then ride that 6 or a 7 out while tapping for 2 minutes.
Now, if you're not able to take that for 2 minutes, then do it for 10 to 15 seconds, rest, and then do it again. But the important thing is to do that exercise for 2 minutes total. Do not do that for 10 or 15 minutes because that's too much. Also, be very careful doing this exercise, any of these, if you have neuropathy. Because if you can't feel your leg, then that's a problem. So that's something you have to be careful for. Now, something Chris said that I want to highlight is it really doesn't do you get to do this exercise up around here. You want to do just the end of your leg, actually where the bone is. So you would not do any of these exercises until you're wearing a gel liner. And you would not be wearing a gel liner until you are very nearly fully healed. If you have an open wound on your leg, do not do these exercises in the area where you have an open wound if you're putting a dressing on. So first one's hand tapping, and then when you get done with that, the way you'll know you're done with that is it will no longer hurt to hit on the end of your leg. Now, there's some patients that if you cannot reach the end of your leg, if you had a really long surgery, you can't reach the end of your leg, or if your upper body is kind of weak, you may have to skip this one and go straight to the next one, which is magazine tapping. Once that one doesn't hurt, then you go to magazine tapping, and we recommend that you start with one magazine and then roll it up and working your way up to 2 to 3 magazines. You know, Chris is a bigger guy, so if you're over 200 pounds, you probably want to work on 3 magazines. If you're under 200, like 150 to 200, you probably only need 2. If you're 100 pounds, you may only need 1 because you just don't need that much force. But I'm going to let Chris show you what he would do with these once you roll them up.
Hold up pretty tight. See him straighten all the way out and just.
Now that's pretty hard. Again, that's relative to what you're trying to do. Chris wants to be able to cut loose and do anything he wants to do, so he's worked on that for a while. It'll take you probably a couple of weeks to complete each one of these. It may take 2 weeks to do the hand tapping and then 2 weeks to do the towel pulls. Does that cause you any pain, Chris?
No.
So
very minimal at most.
So once you do that, then you're going to go to the towel pulls. And you're going to start by just pulling straight up and then or straight back and holding it, and then in both from the side to side and front to back, and then do pulling with grinding. And Chris is going to show you those and explain to you those.
So just bring it back, straight, extend your leg and pull, and then start moving it back and forth. I like to do it slow because it makes it burn a little more. But you'll feel it after a while doing that. And turn it vertically, and it's the same thing. Back and forth.
Keeping your knees straight.
But that'll put a lot more pressure on the end of your leg than the magazines will, if you're truly extending it and pulling back with your force.
Now, once you're good with those, the last exercises we do are called end weight bearing exercises. So we recommend to get you a little bathroom scale that's digital, okay? Because you get a scale that is not digital, so you can see the reading go up and down when you put a little pressure on it, okay? And these scales have 4 little prongs. You got to make sure those are all 4 sitting on a surface. If it's resting in the middle, it won't give an accurate reading. So what he will do is you can get in a chair. A lot of people just sit in the chair, and then you want to gradually just push a little weight down, working your way up to where we like to get to where you can do at least half your body weight. If you can do more than that, that's a big plus. Chris can do a big almost all of his body weight on the end of his leg. And again, these are just things to...
With the liner on.
With the liner on,
No, don't do it without the liner on.
These are just things to make sure that your leg is as tough as it can be, because what's going to happen is there's going to be some days where you forget to add a sock. Some days where you're going to be doing a little bit more than others, and when you step your activity up and maybe you want to go do something after work, it's going to be the difference between your leg hurting you the next day and not hurting you the next day. So it gives you a little bit of forgiveness to not have to have the perfect number of socks on, and it also allows you to do a lot of activities with turning and carrying heavier stuff where you're starting to do more than your body weight, holding a box, helping somebody move, going up and down steps, because up and down steps is somewhere around 6 to 8 times your body weight. So these are all little things that we take for granted, but they'll hurt you a little more if your leg's not prepared. So are there any other exercises you can think of, Chris, that you'll sometimes do instead of those?
That one's the big one. Like if you can pass through all that and get to where you're in weight bearing, that's gonna help you out the most, because I've had heavy furniture going up and down stairs on my leg and been just fine.
Another thing about when you put weight down, you may have to find that you put it at a different angle. Chris, he can do it at any angle, but some people have to turn their leg out to the side a little more to make sure they're putting most of the weight on the center bone. You just may have to play around with that a little bit until you get tougher. So that's it on that. Let
Biggest
us know if you have
thing,
any questions.
wear the liner and do all that. Can't stress that enough.